what I'd say.
Hey Brian, how are you?
Not too bad, Brian. How are you keeping?
Great, thanks. Yeah. Our video countdown is gone again.
Again. we'll get that into LinkedIn. Set up a ticket on that.
Yeah, we will indeed. Yeah, we'll raise that one. How are you? How was your week?
Yeah, keeping good. You know, it's funny. Just as you said that, there, it's like I've done a little scan of myself. How am I actually feeling? I'm actually feeling very calm, actually, amidst the madness. I think I've been very, very, very busy the last while. After the PhD thesis, ticking off lots of boxes, loads of things to do. But I finished the big course last week. It was an online course. It was our last night. That finished last night. Starting a new one tomorrow, but I'm well prepped for it, and I'm just ticking all the boxes rather nicely. And a couple of big, huge projects which I'm going to talk about today in terms of the my to-do list for next week. But it's just ticking over nicely. Things are going well. Things are going good. So it has me in a calm state, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, nice one.
Yourself?
Yeah, like I'm incredibly busy, which is a lovely problem to have.
Yeah.
There's just a bit of a bug or an illness going around the house here at the moment. So I think we're all feeling just a little bit run down at the moment.
Yeah.
But apart from that, everything is good. Everything is good. Business is good. So hopefully we can we can get this bug or this virus out of the house in the next day or so, and we can get back on track.
Back on track. Lovely stuff. How did you get on with your 3 goals from last week?
Yeah, pretty good. So let me have a look at them. What did I have? So I wanted to close, the first one, right, was I wanted to close out I had this kind of special promotion on. It was the last time my flagship course was going to be available for $397. So that's today is the last day. So I've been giving that a bit of a push, and I'll do one more kind of final push this evening, kind of totally close it off. So that's on track. I got 2 new courses up on the Workwell Institute, which was the plan. There's one on nutrition. It's called Feeding Your Potential. I think it's an excellent course. And then there's a really good one as well on kind of parenting. It's like well-being for working parents. So again, it's all for the wider population and companies. So delighted with them. So they're up now alongside your excellent How to Boost Energy course there. And there's 6 courses up on the Institute now. So really building out the content. So delighted with that. Lovely. And then it was touch and go, right? But my final point was on the accounts. I had to get my accounts done. I think we have 1 more week to file and pay and all that as a self-employed person. So got them pretty much done, 90% this morning. They're with the accountant. Hopefully he can work some magic now and reduce the liability for me. And then I'll probably have to do 1 or 2 updates, and that'll be that done. So yeah, what would you say? That's probably 2.75 out of 3, I would say.
No, good. That's the best. I have to say, I'm gonna actually beat you this week. I've had a first 3 out of 3, the first time ever, and I didn't even know I hit it until I checked this morning. I was saying, that's bloody great. So the grant thing that has been carrying over, I don't know, I think that's been carrying over for 6 weeks now, was a goal all of the time, and I haven't gotten near it. But I really got into that this week. Maybe that's why I have that sense of peace about me. I finally got that one over the line. But it's interesting. I think we might touch on that a little bit later. So the grant thing is really about my business proposal, the plans, the features, benefits. I was really going through the essence of the products and the services that I do. And it really ties in nicely with brand work that I'm working on at the minute, and a new website I'm getting developed at the minute as well. So the synergy between each of those, it's really hard work. It takes a lot of mental effort thinking about these things. But it's really high value stuff that's going to pay off in the end. So I was delighted with that. As I finished, as I mentioned, I finished the manifesting course, and I'm starting a new corporate course tomorrow. So I won't say who it's with, but that has gone really well. I got the workbook finished. I was delighted with the workbook that went with it. It's 6-module course based on many of the strategies that I've implemented in my own life. But it's more about limiting beliefs. It's about habit formation, the science behind all of that as well, values, principles, action-based principles as well. So it's really nice, really looking forward to delivering that course. So that's the first big corporate one that I've ever done. And then the third one I had for last week was around the brand and the website. So I'm working with a guy. I finished the Leo trading online voucher. I done the course for that last week, and I have to say, wow, that blew me away. I thought I had to check in for 3 hours just to get this little ticket to say we're on the course, but it was actually 3 of the best hours I've spent this year. It was invaluable around SEO, around website development, around just finding your niche and finding your customers and your services and your products, all that kind of stuff. There was a guy called Noel Davidson ran it, and wow, was I impressed. Really, really impressed. And I'm going to be doing more courses with Leo on the back of that. It was brilliant.
Right. I did, and it's probably 2 years since I did that. And it was, the name rings a bell. It was Noel as well, Noel Davidson.
Was it? He was really, really good. Just these, he had 5 little takeaways that I just thought were brilliant. Like one of the things was get onto Google Maps. So a lot of companies aren't on Google Maps. It's like, and that's the first thing when someone puts in a search, the people that are on Google Maps, the companies that are on Google Maps as a sole trader or as a trader or a small business, that comes up first. So you've got to get yourself on Google Maps. And it was just little tips like that.
And
one of the things.
Can I ask on that? So well, let's say you're delivering services nationwide, which you are. Is your location your home address? Is that what you're putting?
My location is the address that I have for the company. So it's near City West here. So I just get the company address. So it's interesting in that as well, because if somebody's looking for your services, they want you, it brings you closer to home of that service. But what it does is it just gives you extra SEO. So if you put in certain keywords for a certain company, the ones that actually has a Google Map address will be prioritized over other companies. So it's just a matter of giving yourself an address, because Google Maps, Google search engines are interlinked. So really important little tip that I didn't know about. And then another thing he said was, like, ask your customers what would they put into Google if they were going to search for your services. So I was trying to work on my brand and niche down and say, what do I represent? And one of my big problems is that I start to do lots of different things. I do neuroscience, I do work on habits, I do work on positive action, mindset, linked, but all different in a way as well. And you need to find your niche, as we've talked about before. So I done a thing on my Instagram, and I got asked people that question, and the variety of stuff that came back really highlighted the problem I have, and need to niche it down. So it just reinforced me beliefs that I'm going down the right track, but reinforcing the issues that I know I have, and I'm on the right line. So
was there any overlap whatsoever though? Was there any words?
There was mindset came into it a lot, and then the overlap with habits and change and addiction came up a lot as well. So it was I don't do anything in addiction, so that's something I need to step away from, but I've never been there. It's just part of my story. Mental health, mindset, so they're all interrelated, but I think I just need to have something I'm known for specifically, which helps with word of mouth and stuff like that as well. So what I'm coming around to know now, I think I'm going to have to come up with something around mindset or change, transformation. So what it will be, it's basically it's an umbrella, and everything can sit underneath that umbrella then, that way. So I think that's the angle I'm going to go on. Whether it's right or wrong, time will tell, but I think that looks like the way I'm going to go. But in terms of the third takeaway, I'm moving with brand and website. I'm working with a great guy in terms of his work, helped me with my website and the brand as well. And we're really getting close to where we need to be and what we need to sell. So delighted with that. So it was a good week for ticking the boxes.
Excellent. So you're giving yourself a 3 out of 3, are you?
Giving myself a 3 out of 3, yeah. I'm tempted to say 2.9, because you're never 3 out of 3, like, especially with these arbitrary kind of contests.
10,
let's just go for it.
And so the kind of the business planning side of things, how is that going? So that's something I have that down for next week for me, because that's something I am just weak on. I'm great for responding and reacting and just being in the moment, in the week. When it comes to taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, I'm actually really poor on that. And somebody only asked me just yesterday kind of a detailed question about what my plan was for 2022. And I had a perfectly fine answer, but it wasn't detailed. It got me thinking, I actually don't have a really detailed plan for 2022.
Yeah, there's something I remember I often think about is, like, if you want to smash your goals, you have to get ruthlessly specific about what you want, like ruthlessly specific. And it's crazy. And for me, so I'm going for this new grant. So I went for the Leo online trading grant for the website, but I'm going for this other grant with Leo. It's a bigger grant. I think it's a priming grant. It's called, it's like 15,000, and you can take on an employee and stuff like that as well, because that's a big goal for me, to take on a full-time employee for next year, with to take over the day-to-day run of the company, like you says, to put out all those fires that you don't want to be doing that quadrant 1 work, so I can work on marketing, selling the stuff I have, and creating new content. That's where I want to spend all of my time. And it's really interesting. What I have to do before that is, and it all interlinks with the stuff I'm talking about. Like I'm doing that Leo grant, and part of that Leo grant, you have to do a business plan. So the business plan is helping me with the website. It's helping me with the brand. It's helping me on all aspects of that, and knowing where the company is going to go, where I want to bring the company. And in specifically to what you're talking about there, like what are the goals for next year? And that's the question I was working on this morning. That's how we had a conversation about it beforehand. And I was saying, well, what are the goals for next year? And I sort of peripherally knew what they were, but it was only when I started getting into it and thinking deep about it and giving it time that I realized, right, these are the goals. And again, like it's like develop a new interactive website to streamline my mission and services. So currently in progress, and I'm sort of reading it off here. Acquire a full-time employee to look after the day-to-day running of the company. But it's like, it got me thinking, right, I want to do more courses. So I'm going to develop 3 more online courses for next year. Now I want to work, I'm going to be working with yourself. So we're going to have courses. So I'm going to do 2 courses. Where I'm thinking we definitely have 1 lined up, but I'm thinking we could do 2 courses next year for ourselves. And there's some interplay in that as well. Let me go back into another couple of things. So, so there's lots of stuff in here. I won't go into the details of it all, but then it came into the marketing strategy. So creating marketing strategies to sell existing online courses, and how will I do that? And the new ones as well. So it's like ClickFunnels. So what am I going to do? Blogs, videos, newsletters, one-off posts. So these are the things I'm going to have to work on. Expanding my social media profile, because it's around the awareness is what you want. So I'm looking at numbers where I want to expand, how I'm going to expand my email list. What am I going to do to expand my email list? Well, I'm going to have to get a certain amount of blogs wrote for the year. So I think looking at this now, I might even need to get even more specific, right? How many?
I was going to say to you, are you being more specific? Because you mentioned 3 courses, let's say. Have you got dates down for when those courses are going to be? You mentioned growing your email lists. Have you got a target number in there?
I do have targets. So I have targets for them. But that's really interesting, Brian, as well, what you said, because what in the grant, and I love this idea, it sort of trips me up every time. So in the grant, it's like, right, what are the goals or the aims for long-term aims? I'm just breaking it down into different years. But then it's what are the objectives? So it's like, that's it there, right? 3 more courses, right? The objectives is course 1, March, course 2, August, course 3, October. So they are the objectives that I need to, or the milestones that I need to nail down, is when I'm actually going to get them over the line. So thanks for that, because that was the next question, which was actually bothering me. But it's, again, I think that's what that does, isn't it? So you need to get your goals for the year, but then ruthlessly specific is the milestones. That's the aspect of that as well.
Yeah. Smart, if you like, the SMART goals. Specific, measurable, actionable.
Yeah.
Forget what the R and the T is now. Time bound, anyway, is the T.
Right, I have to look into that. I've never heard that acronym. I like that.
Oh, that's a good for any goal setting activities. SMART goals.
SMART goals.
Specific, measurable. I think it's actionable. And the R. Someone might jump in on the chat with the R. Maybe realistic. It might be realistic.
It is. That makes sense. Yeah, because we get to audacious is good, but it's you got to say
audacious goals.
Audacious goals.
No, in fairness, when Keith Barry came on the podcast, he was saying, what did you call them? Is it moonshot goals?
Moonshot goals.
He has his moonshot goals, but then he has his slightly more realistic goals. But he aims for the moonshot goals. Like, he's aiming for them.
Yeah,
if he falls short on them, he's probably still getting a really kind of far-fetched goal.
Yeah, I do it myself. It's like that idea, like BHAGs. I remember hearing that, big, hairy, audacious goals.
I love that term. Yeah,
it's great. Yeah. And what you call it, I think you do need to have them, but you can't be attached to them goals, because if you're attached to the goals and you don't reach it, you're in trouble. And as we know, a business plan is only a plan; it's not reality, and it will pivot, especially through COVID and all. So you can't get attached to these goals, but aim high. You've got to aim high.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Here we go. Thanks,
realistic, you got it, Ron.
Thanks, LinkedIn user. Realistic and timely. Yeah, it is. It's a really good tool to use for any kind of goal setting activity. Really.
Yeah, I'll need to jump on a call with you separate from this, Brian. I might grab your services for the objectives and goals. You've helped me a lot now.
Give you a good race. Don't worry about that.
So
we were going to talk a bit about work-life balance, weren't we?
Yeah, a little bit, literally.
I was going to say, anytime this comes up, work-life balance, and it does come up a lot for me in the work I do, in the workplace well-being space. It comes up all the time. But, all the time it comes up in the conversations I'm having, it's for full-time employees, people who are employees of organizations, and how do they manage their company time, their family time, then their home time, their downtime. And what I never hear is the conversation around work-life balance for, let's say, if you're self-employed or you're running a small business yourself.
Yeah.
There's the challenge there. And that's something
very different. They are like worlds apart.
Yeah. Because like what I don't know if I was saying this to you only recently. I'd love to be able to go on a holiday now, but a holiday for me would be to have to work in a company for 2 weeks, and I can just finish at 5:30 every evening and switch off.
Yeah.
And then have the weekends I can switch off. That would be a holiday now. I would love that.
Yeah.
You just don't get that, do you, if it's your own business?
You don't get that. And the thing is, right, there's a couple of things in that jump out for me. Is like, I remember hearing this years ago before I was an entrepreneur myself, and I was like, when you own your own company, you never go home. You're always in work because it's always in your head. Now, thankfully, I think I can actually shut off from that. And there's another flip side to that as well is, and this is a problem I struggle with, is do you want to go home? And I know you struggle with that as well, because you enjoy the work. Yeah. And that is a great thing, because you say, well, I don't need a work-life balance. But then this brings a whole other set of problems into that as well, because you need to be able to shut down. Your mind just can't keep on running away with things either, even if you're enjoying it. Like, you need to shut down at some stage as well. So it's like, and then when you have success, I remember talking to Greg McKeown. So he wrote that book, Essentialism.
Oh, yeah, I love that book. Yeah.
Brilliant book. I interviewed him years ago.
Did you?
Yeah. I just by fluke, I got him on an interview, and I was surprised because he's an essentialist. I remember being very feeling very lucky because I got his time. And but I remember it was only at the start of my business before I was getting a bit of traction in various areas. And I remember he said to me a takeaway. He says, Brian, you need to be aware of the paradox of success. Because the more you're successful, the more opportunities you get. And then because you're enjoying it and you're being highly reinforced by that, you're not going to see that you're burning yourself out. And especially in terms of entrepreneurship, you might be doing well, and that's a great thing, but you need to be careful because you lose a balance. There's no work-life balance, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't hear it called that before, but that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
The paradox of success. Like I've got the two projects on the go, if you like, the workplace well-being and Parkit. And Parkit was very much part-time up until recently, but now both projects are doing really, really well. They're taking up a huge amount of my time. I was joking with someone just the other day. I'm part-time now on both, 50 hours on Parkit and 50 hours on workplace well-being. And that's just the reality at the moment. So it's success breeds opportunities. I guess you got to say no to some opportunities. You just got to understand what to take on then as well, and what to drop, essentially.
Yeah, and do you know as well, for anyone that's looking for tips, because I know we were saying we're going to be talking about work-life balance as well. And there's something that I think that's really important. I think one of the most important things you need to do is to tune into your body. Like you were feeling tired there last week. I remember I was feeling it as well. And it's like the energy is low, and it's nearly just tuning into your body and saying, right, am I tired? Am I feeling a little bit? Is this the early signs? And it mightn't be burnout per se, but the early signs of just, right, you're getting into a little bit of you need to actually regenerate here. You need to do good things. But I think the best thing that you can do from that is what you do yourself, Brian, is like exercise, eating healthy, getting your sleep. You're going to rejuvenate a lot better for that as well. But I think just keeping an eye on your body and in just body awareness to see how you're feeling, I think is really, really critical. And I think that works whether you are in a company as well. Because if you're in a company and you're working in a 9-to-5 job, you might be still bringing the work home, and in your mind, like, you know what I mean? Let's say there's arguments going on in the workplace, and you're just bringing it home. You're bringing it to the dinner table and stuff like that as well, which can be toxic as well. So it's really creating a context shift, whether you're self-employed or whether you're working for a company, that this is work life and this is home life. And I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, no, good points. One thing I never skip on is the exercise, no matter how busy I am. But having said that, funnily enough, I was not feeling great. I told you, there's a bit of a bug going around, whatever it is. didn't had the schedule for the gym this morning. I think this is only the second time I've ever done it, but I just the alarm went off and I said, you know what, I can't do that 6 o'clock this morning. I need maybe, if I can, get another hour sleep in here, at least an hour's rest. So I just quickly kind of canceled that, pushed it out to later this week, which hopefully I won't miss it. I'll get it done at some stage, but it wasn't this morning anyway. It was just, like I said, listen to the body.
Listen to the body, man. It's funny you say that as well, Brian, because I'm doing this Movember campaign, movement for Movember, so I'm raising money for men's mental health.
How's that going?
It's going great. So it's 60 kilometers in the month of November, which I run quite a bit, so that was fine. That was no problem. But also 60 burpees a day. But I underestimated, because I do a good bit of exercise, but I underestimate 60 burpees a day is a lot. But didn't I let it slip? And I had like 240 to do, like, because I wanted to catch up, and I had to do 240. I done it over 2 days. It was a bloody nightmare. But I knew I needed a break today, so I had a lie-in this morning. I just stayed until about 8 o'clock, and I says, right, I feel the body needs a break. I had that body awareness. I was just feeling a bit tired. And I basically done an extra 60 burpees yesterday, so I could lie in today. I'm not exercising today. I'm taking a handy today. Yeah. And now I'm sitting here talking to you, saying I feel a bit of peace about me. And I would imagine it's because I listened to the body, and I'm taking it. It was pretty much a day off today. I was only just glancing peripherally at a few things. I didn't go hard.
Nice one. Yeah. Good stuff. We might share that link. I think you're doing some fundraising for that, aren't you?
Yeah, great shout, man. Yeah. I will have I got it? I do. It's here it is. So if anyone is looking for it, I'll put that in there. Nice one, Brian, for that.
Yeah.
So I can just copy that into the chats, can I?
You can try, see if it pops up there. And if not, send it on to me and I should be able to pop it up. Or if not, we'll get it ready for next week. I'll just go into my private chat. I wonder, can I?
Oh, here we go.
No, I got it here.
Yeah, I think I can do it too, actually.
Can you?
I think so. Oh, no, that's a search thing.
Let's see.
There we go.
There it is anyway. Oh, yeah.
Excellent. If anyone's interested, movement it's for men's mental health. Yeah, so that's great. And you know what? There's something in that as well, Brian, that just jumped out at me. I remember hearing a podcast recently. It's like, the feminist kind of thing. I'm not talking about men and women here, but more feminine qualities would be like being, creativity, intuition, these kind of being things, where masculine qualities are sort of, or not masculine qualities, masculine traits are sort of around risk taking, and it's do. And I think that's something that has a big impact on men's mental health as well, is this like doing. And I know I can feel it as well. I love getting stuff done, and everyone does, but it's like, it's a badge of honor you can wear sometimes as well, which can be very, very dangerous.
Here's something interesting, because I knew we were going to talk about work-life balance today. So I thought I just very quickly, like you're talking 2 minutes before we came on, I gave myself a score for my balance, if you like, my work-life balance. And I gave a score for family, a score for work, for exercise, and for friends.
Yeah.
Nothing else in there now. No room for anything else. So family, I think it's okay. I could do a little better. I gave myself a 7. Work, 8. And I gave it an 8 because I'm torn between the two.
Yeah.
If I had one, I'd say it'd be a 10. Exercise, I'm pretty good in the exercise. I gave myself an 8. But friends is just something that's just, I'm terrible at that at the moment, actually catching up with friends or doing something with friends. So I gave myself a 2 there.
Yes. The balance wheels are absolutely phenomenal. They're probably the most practical, underutilized, brilliant tools that are out there, because it just gives you an instant snapshot. Like you're talking about it there, and I just wrote down 4 quadrants, and I'm saying, wow, I just had this realization. I know exactly where I need to put more work into that. And it's like it's my sibling family, my mom and dad and stuff like that, friends and stuff like that as well. And relationships, I putting time into that, and it's interesting. Like, just to give you a snapshot of where you're at, it's a really, really good way of doing things like that. Another thing that jumped out at me there, it's a really great one, Brian. Did you ever hear of Eric Partaker?
I know the name, yeah.
You know,
so he was at Pendulum, did he?
He was at Pendulum. I seen him at Pendulum. He stole the show from me at Pendulum. He was brilliant, and he gave everyone his phone number. He says, "Give me a call after the event," which is great, because he's a big top speaker in America. So I gave him a chat. Now, it was obviously business as well. He was looking for CEOs. I'm sure that was a part of it as well. But he says here, it's not just about that. If I can give advice for free, I can give advice for free. Great guy. I had a lovely chat with him. And I'm actually on a call with him next Friday. I hadn't contacted him in a year and a half. I'm on a call with him next Friday. I only reached out to him. But he has this idea called a shutdown ritual. So basically what he does is at 6 o'clock, that's his time for doing that. He basically, his alarm goes off, and there's a few little elements to it. One of the questions he primes himself with is, what does the best dad and husband look like? So that's the primer for him to shut down. Now what he does is he checks his three most important things he has to do in the morning. He makes sure that all of the urgent things are sorted out, but if there's anything else urgent, he carries it over for the next day. And that's his ritual to shut down for the evening. So he's given himself permission to shut down for the evening. And just in terms of work-life balance, that's how he separates work from a life balance as well. And I just think it's a nice little thing. It's a real, very obvious trigger point to say, right, this is the start, this is the end.
Brilliant. Yeah, I love that. Let us know how that call goes. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, will indeed. He's class. He's really, really good. Do you know who's the next one I'm going to reach out to if I can get a hold of him? You put me on to him. I'm reading his book at the moment. Adam Grant.
Oh, yeah. Try him. Yeah, let me know. How
thinking again and rethinking. His book is phenomenal. His book is phenomenal. It really is.
Yeah, if you can get hold of him now, you're doing well.
If you're listening, Adam. I'm sure you're not.
Him on, he has, as I said, he has the second best workplace wellbeing podcast out there. So he's
it's your big goal. Gonna get on that. Yeah.
Yeah, we should quick. We'll wrap up quickly. We'll be with our three. What are your three targets then for next week?
So my three targets for next week they're all intertwined. So it's basically I want to get 60% of my grant. Mm-hmm. I want to nail the name, my description, meta description of my website. So I'm getting really specific here. So I just want to have the three of those things absolutely nailed. And the website, I want to get my initial things on the website. So the things I want to get me competitor websites, because I have a meeting with my website guy next Friday. Oh no, that's next Tuesday actually. So I need to have that done. Yeah. So I'll have this all done. So I'm going to it's the initial aspect of the website, looking at the framework, the ones that I like, the areas that we're going, and the flow of the website. So just to get that initial thing done, I'm going to put, it's just the initial stages of the website. It's not very specific, but I'll have to do it for now.
Yeah, no, very good. Yeah.
What's your three?
Cool. So I'm going to take a leaf out of your book. I'm going to have a plan, high level plan for 2022. That's number one. I'm planning then getting back into the weeds. I haven't done a proper webinar in a while. I'm going to try and give a really good quality one, good informational one to the audience, to the Workwell community. I've got one coming up on ISO 45003. I want to plan that out. It's the world's first global standard for mental well-being in the workplace. So we're going to have just an informational session on that. And then the third thing is I'm finishing the Parkit leader training on Saturday. I've got 23 leaders. And once that's completed, I've got 23 new leaders that are fully insured and trained to lead Parkit sessions.
Epic.
That'll be huge. Yeah, that'll allow us it'll run the current parks, and it'll allow us to expand to more parks. That's
incredible, man. That's incredible. Congrats on that.
Cheers. Thank you. So hopefully I'll have a positive update on that.
Excellent stuff. Excellent. Here, I love this chat, man. And this was a little bit of a different style today. Yeah. We just said we'd run with it and have a more conversation. I think it worked great. Really enjoyed that.
No, it was class. Yeah.
Excellent.
Listen, have a brilliant week, Brian.
You too. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.
Bye, everybody.